And we're live. Hello, everybody. Mostly everybody in the VOD, because usually no one's here for the first couple seconds. While everything kind of catches up here, I want to send this thing out to Discord really quickly. Well, talking about the new season's roadmap. Here we go. So, what's going on, y'all? Hope y'all having a fantastic day out there. A little bit earlier than I usually stream right now. Mostly because I haven't streamed in so long. I'm just checking... Wait, did I not update the thumbnail? Hold on. Am I dumb? Y'all, did I... Hold on. Where do I even edit my thumbnail once it's live? Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm stupid. Yeah, exactly, Gas Man. God damn, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes. I could have fixed this thumbnail. One second. I completely forgot to update it. Where? Oh, Lord. Hold on. I made a thumbnail. Where even is it? They all blend together. Hold on. Excuse me? Where is the thumbnail? Let's see. All right. This one's labeled as... Okay. All right. This isn't a great thumbnail. Truthfully, I think I should have made this better, but oh well. Here we go. Thumbnail. Let me know. Hopefully that updates and people don't think I'm talking about old news. How crazy would it be if I stone cold, I don't even mention, I don't draw any attention to it. I just opened up the season 3 roadmap and talked about all of that content quick. I've been loving your vids lately. Found your channel like a month or two ago. Love it. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thanks. I've been feeling very like creatively fulfilled lately with my videos. I feel like I'm in a good rhythm right now. I actually had to kick this stream back a little bit because today I recorded 2 new videos that I was running late to the stream here because I was shooting them. So I don't know. Look forward to some new stuff pretty soon here. Gasman, the $2.
Gasman3222 donated $2 through Super Chat. Shut up and take my money.
Appreciate that, Gasman. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, now chat is coming through, but it's way too big. Sorry. Again, I think I was starting to say at the beginning of this, I haven't streamed in a while here, but we're back. There's a new season. We're gonna talk about it. What's going on, Deadly? Welcome. So, Season 4, they added, Season 4, they just released the roadmap for. If you haven't seen this already, it's on the COD blog. Literally just Google COD blog and you can find it. Now, there's a lot on here. I'm of a couple different minds of this, I'm torn when it comes to the content here, because on one hand, when I first looked at it, I was a little bit like, there's not a lot of like jumping of stuff that's like jumping out at me. But the more that I like looked into everything and went like line by line, a lot of this is the shit that I've been talking about and asking for a long time. It's almost eerie how close it is to everything that I have been like asking for, in terms of like specific types of content. So let's get into it. No new map. Yeah, for zombies, no new map quite yet, which is surprising. I really thought that they were gonna do one per season after, but I guess now Janus Towers, however you pronounce that. I guess that's just gonna be the last DLC next season. And then it's going to roll straight into BO7, which ideally, I think is rumored right now to just have more round-based zombies. So it's going to be a lot. Like we're in terms of like round-based zombies maps, we're still going to be eating pretty good here for the next, like, while, for the next, like, year or so. It's just, like, this season in particular just doesn't have one. Like, I'm assuming also that BO7, if it has round-based zombies, I'm willing to bet, like, I think it's more likely than not that all of the BO6 zombies maps would carry forward. Not that it, like, because it's all, like, the same engine, right? Obviously, we don't know what BO7 Zombies is going to look like, but like I'm assuming it's going to be similar, and if so, I would think that everything's going to carry forward. So like I'm kind of looking at this game as a 2-year game, and in that regard, having one season without a zombies map is kind of like whatever to me, you know. What's going on, Gray Ghost? Oh hey, Valentere, Daffy, welcome. So that new Clash mode seems real fun, and the skins don't look bad either. Yeah, skins never jump out at me, but for sure Clash seems very, very fun. So here, let's man, I do this all the time, and I never figure out a good, elegant way of just zooming in. You know what we'll do here is I'll just do like a fast scroll down, kind of cover all of the surface level everything. And then we'll go through and we'll talk about each thing individually a little bit more, if that sounds good. Yeah, control scroll wheel, that's what I'm doing. It doesn't actually make the images bigger. Hate it. I don't know what's going on. Real quick, though, we have that Liberty Falls reskin. That's true. I don't know if they actually showed an image from it, though, or not. Or if they just described it. Oh, they haven't shown it yet, which seems to insinuate it might be bigger than usual. Maybe, for sure. Grief returning from BO2 is cool, but so is but his turn for Season 6. I don't know, maybe. Be cool. I'm all for actual game modes being added to zombies, and not just LTMs. But yeah. We'll get into all that here in a minute. Also, jetpack movement got leaked on Twitter. Yeah! Man, we'll talk about that here at the end too, because I got a lot to say about that, and it feels like the community does too. I have never seen the community more like oh no, like hearing something leaked about the next COD. Like universally, people I don't think liked that. I don't know, but we'll see. So as far as multiplayer maps go, we have 3 at launch. We got Shutdown, which is a power plant. Then we have Fugitive, which is a prison map. This is one of the a few weeks or like months ago, we as a community on stream made like our ideal roadmap. Like we made up like 5 or 6 multiplayer maps and like what kind of modes we'd want to see, features, stuff like that. And one that we talked about was a prison map. So, hey, they listened. Thanks, Treyarch. Clearly, they watch my streams. There's also a 6v6 and 2v2 map called Blitz. Seems to take place kind of on a, not really highway. I guess it's really just a bridge. In the trailer, it looked like a major highway. I believe all 3 maps take place in Iceland, I believe. And they all are kind of connected to the story. It's kind of like a beat for beat of like breaking Stitch out of prison, right? They have to shut down the power, and then the prison itself, and then the getaway, which I like. I love when they do that. We'll talk about it a little bit more here in a minute, but like Season 1 had that kind of like style where like all 3 maps were kind of connected together. I really like that they're still doing that with Season 4. Not a particular fan of the whole Stitch story, considering he should be dead. But I do at least like that there is some like connecting tissue between the maps. I always think that that's cool. Just hopped on BO6 after not touching for a week. What the fuck am I looking at in the store? I feel that way every single time I open it up, man. There's something else crazy in there. In the mid-season, we're getting 2 new maps. First is Eclipse, which I have to read more about. This isn't connected at all to the BO2 map Plaza, right? It seems to be like some kind of club, DJ booth right here. Thanks so much, lad. Been a member for 18 months. It's a full year and a half. Thank you so much. First stream in a year, and I'm going to miss it. Oh, no. Well, hey, the VOD will be available later. Also, it's only been like 3 months, okay? Not a full year. Calm down. Yeah, what was the name of the club on Plaza? For some reason, I think it was Eclipse. I might be mistaken, though. And then the other new map, well, not really new map, but the other map coming at mid-season is Fringe. This is another one that actually, hang on a second. All right, you guys are about to look at my subscriptions for a minute here. Sorry. Hold on. Let me go to my channel page. Why isn't my channel page loading? There we go. Oh, you're about to hear double me, too. Oh, no, you're not. Posts. Let me see if I can find that roadmap that we made together, because I'm pretty sure we chose Fringe to be the remake, too. How long ago was it, even? Hold on. Oh, no, it was a while ago. Why did I think that we just did this, like, yesterday? Oh, no, I didn't actually I posted the layout of it. Hold on. Okay. Inception here. I'm playing a stream on a stream. What did we say was going to be our maps here? We had, yep, Fringe, right fucking there. We said our ideal, the perfect Call of Duty season was going to have, literally it's called Pantheon Cell Block and Fringe. 2 of the 5 maps that we requested be there showed up in this season. Clearly, 3 months ago, some developer saw this and said, this guy's onto something. I think also... Actually, no, I don't think anything else is right. We did say wager matches here, which is kind of one in the chamber, but not fully. Oh, yeah, Deadly, you beat me to it. Yeah, we had Fringe in the roadmap. 2016 was the last time we had Jetpack in COD, almost a decade. Yeah, I'm not a fan of jetpacks, man. Let's see. It's COD, no one ever dies. They're gonna get Mason back next season. I am shocked that last season we had Hudson back, but he wasn't actually back. Like they didn't revive him. They just had him like almost Jigsaw style, just like exist in a tape. I'm surprised that they did that, but then when it came to Stitch, they like they brought him back fully for some reason. Why not do a similar thing with Stitch? I don't know. Seems weird to be like picking and choosing like this. So anyway, Fringe is back. The replay mode stream looks good, honestly. Hey, well, you know what? It's up. If you have 4 hours to kill, you can read me argue with chat over what should be included or not. So that's it for multiplayer maps. Going into modes, we have a new mode called Team Elimination. It sounds very similar, though, to another mode that we've had before. The way that they describe this is a little bit weird. To me, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around it. It says, in this twist on kill confirmed, 2 teams are given a limited amount of lives each, and they fight to be the last surviving team. Drop a dog tag. Players drop a dog tag on death that can be picked up by the enemy to confirm, or by a teammate to deny the opposing team. Survive longer than the other team, or hold the most remaining lives. When the timer ends, win the round. So it sounds like when you die, it doesn't actually count toward like the death counter, unless that person collects the tag. Yeah, which I think is search and rescue. I don't fully remember. Actually, let me just Google search and rescue. It was kind of ghosts, right? With search and rescue. Let's see. It's a mix between search and restore and kill confirmed, where 2 teams battle and drop tags when killed. The difference being in search and rescue, obtaining a teammate's dog tags will revive them. Well, if an enemy grabs them, they will be eliminated. Okay, so it's not the same. In search and rescue, you're dead. You're dead for the round. in this new one, you do respawn. It just doesn't count as a death toward your toward like the team score. It sounds like. Honestly, I like it. I'm with it. I do want to just note for future historians, it does not say LTM next to it. So, if this is no longer in the game in 2 months, I just want it to be known that it did not say LTM. It should be in the game forever. Although they have not been doing that. They've been removing game modes left and right in this particular Call of Duty, which I hate. Which sucks. Let's see. Need Zombies Chronicles 2 for Season 6. Man, I would love that. Zombie Chronicles 2. What's weird is Zombies Chronicles 2 kind of happened in BO4. In BO4, you had a remake of 5... Mob of the Dead, Nuketown, and Call of the Dead, right? Remake, ish, right? It was more of a reimagining. But you had a lot of, like, the maps that were left out of the original Zombies Chronicle come back in BO4. So, like, it's kind of weird. Yeah, it was dookie, I agree. But, like, it did happen, technically. A lot of people keep saying, like, Zombies Chronicles 2... In my opinion, it kind of already happened. I would like to see maybe some of those maps come back again, but I'd also just like to see like good maps that are like themed similarly to those old ones. Okay, but Transit on the BO6 engine. The rumor right now is also that BO7 is going to launch with a Transit-ish map. We'll see what that is actually like when it comes out. Hudson was in that chair. Stitch just wasn't in that grave. That makes sense. It turns out Stitch wasn't even... oh, no, it was a grave, right? It was Perseus's grave, right? So that's all that it was. Perseus is dead. Stitch isn't. Transit could have been an open-world zombies map, honestly. Yeah, so that, to my knowledge, was the original idea behind Transit, was that they wanted it to be this big open thing, kind of similar to how Outbreak is now. But at the time, BO2 came out on the PS3 generation. Technically, they just couldn't make it work. And that's why they reined it in significantly, added the fog to keep you from loading too much of the map at once. It was a whole thing. So hopefully now that we are 2 generations past, if they were to try Transit again, it'll hopefully be closer to the original intention, is the idea. I'm guessing team eliminations is faction survival mode, right? Instead of just killing, you have to pick up dog tags to confirm or deny the kill. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And each team has a set number of team lives. I keep thinking of it like tickets in Battlefield, although I don't think Battlefield ever had dog tag type shit. But anyway, I digress. One in the Chamber is the other new mode. I'm just now reading, actually, it says in season. That makes me sad. One in the Chamber is my favorite party mode that, for some reason, always comes 5 seasons in. This one's in the 4th season, but we're 7 months into this game, and we're just now getting what I think is the best party mode of all time. And on top of that, in most games, even if they added One in the Chamber during their life cycle, you cannot actually play it. I tried going back to Cold War, where I thought One in the Chamber existed. Can't play it. Modern Warfare 3 can't play it. Modern Warfare 2, you can't play it. I don't remember if it was in Vanguard. Can't play it there. You can't... for some reason, it's always an LTM in all of these games. And I don't... I just want one game that has all these party modes either at launch or at least in there permanently. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it progresses here, because now they do have a party game playlist or a filter. But we'll see. It's in season. I think they might talk about exactly when later, because a lot of the time if they say in season here, they might when they go to break down like the events, they'll say when specific things show up, but we'll see. Probably coming with the with the revolver that was leaked. They haven't mentioned anything about a revolver, which I think that they would have done in the blog post. So that leads me to believe that there won't be one. It would be nice for them for once to have one in the chamber actually be played with a real revolver, but we'll see. I wish the revolver was a Python. I don't like the older revolvers. Yeah, man, bring the Python back. I'd like the Executioner come back too. I know it's a bit different, but you have to be in the party playlist for MW3 to play it. Is it actually still in that mosh pit? I'm not sure. I do know definitely though that it was removed from MW22 and BO4. BO4 used the Annihilator as the one in the chamber. That's a revolver. Hey, you know what? You got me. Technically. They are also adding something called Party Ops mid-season. This one's interesting. I'll just read the description for you. It says, compete in a randomized set of party-themed mini-games. Player with the highest score at the end of the match wins it all. I don't know what that means. It reminds me a lot of, I think it was called, like, MW3, like, shit. What the hell was it called? There was a game mode where it would spawn you in pairs, and you would have to like do a specific like thing, like it might down one of the players in like one part of the map, and the other one would have to like run and get it, and revive, like be the first one to revive their teammate, and then another one they would give everyone a sledgehammer, and you had to like beat the shit out of a car that would spawn until it exploded. Does anyone remember what the hell that game mode was called? It was another LTM that only exists for like a week. That mode was pretty fun. I remember being really excited about it, but it felt kind of like half baked, if I remember right. Where I was headed with that was I'm hoping that maybe this is more baked. Ground War? No. This was like it was like some point in MW3, just LTMs maybe. Is there like a... It was during WarioWare COD edition, basically. I'm not gonna waste my time on it, but that's kind of what this sounds like to me. Yeah, it was something to do with the WWE people. I don't think it was called Challenge though. Like, you know what? They could bring back Double Agent because of Pantheon Mole stuff. Oh my god, that would work so well. I agree. I don't know that enough people liked Double Agent though. Because, I don't know, I feel like whenever I mention Double Agent to someone, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? SmackDown, I think that's what it was called. SmackDown LTM. Summer Slam? Wait, SmackDown? What? Slam Deathmatch? No, it wasn't Slam Deathmatch. Game mode. Alright, well, here's a video but from a random guy. I don't know who this is.
I had one of those.
Oh, he's got a mask, though. It's Stitch. Is this the game mode? Come on. Yeah, this is the game mode I'm thinking of. It might be something similar to this. Wait, no, maybe it's not. He just happened to be dead. No, this is completely different. No, ignore me. Ignore. COD Warrior. Okay, we're... mode. Yeah, no one even, like... Alright, here's some random gameplay. Oh, it's 3v3? I thought it was 2. Yeah, it looks like it's 2 here. It was like you would just get... Yeah, like this was a mode called Fragged, and then if I had to guess, everyone just has a riot shield and frags. And like last man standing. Like, it's a cool idea. I don't remember, like, something was weird about this game mode though when it actually came out that made me not like it. I can't fully remember what it was. This does look fun though. So my guess would be that this is something very similar. Anyway, let's move on finally. They're also adding the Grim Reaper as a new score streak, which is weird. I feel like they're kind of just going through all of the weapon-based score streaks that we've had in the past and just slowly adding them, right? One season we got the hand cannon, and then we got the minigun last season, and now we're getting the Grim Reaper, and it's like, all right, that's great. I feel like they should have all been at once. Like it feels like they're being drip fed out, which I guess, to be fair, that's what games do now, but it seems weird. I don't know. Oh no, and they also had the War Machine too, right? Is that 4? Was it War Machine? Why can't I think of the Gatling gun name? The War Machine, the minigun, the hand cannon, and now the Grim Reaper, right? Like that's 4 weapon-based score streaks that I feel like have come out every single season. It's strange. Death Machine, there you go. Appreciated that, Gas and Regulant, or Reglant. Flamethrower would be nice. If I had to put money on anything, I think next season is going to be a Flamethrower. Just seeing how literally every season has been one. I would think a Flamethrower would be next. Ooh, Combat Bow would be good. Like the Outrider Bow. Combat Bow as well, but it was ass. I feel like the Compound Bow would also be effectively the same as the hand cannon, right? There's also some ranked play stuff. I'm not even gonna really go into detail on it. There's more ranked play. You know, I'm happy for people who like ranked play. For me, it's the exact opposite of what I play games for, so I skip it. It seems like it's just new calling card. You know, it's a new season, new rewards and stuff. Zombies content. Now we get into some stuff that, even though there's not a new map in Zombies, I am kind of excited for some of the new modes and stuff that they're adding. So the big one is Grief, which if you don't know, we talked about it here, a minute ago. It's from BO2. It's basically a versus mode with in Zombies. So there's 2 teams of 4 that cannot directly hurt each other, but they can slow each other down and do things to quote-unquote grief the other team that will make them easier to be killed by zombies. So from what I understand, it takes place on all of the maps, but it actually takes place on 11 different arenas across those maps. So let's see, yeah. So there are 2 arenas on Liberty Falls. I look at these as almost like strike maps. Like they're 2 cut down versions of the maps. I don't know if it's the sort of thing where you can actually pick which arena you go into, or if it'll just randomly give it to you. But Liberty Falls has 2. One that seems like spawn area, one that's more toward the church. Terminus has the biolab, and then a separate one on Crab Island. Citadel has the Courtyard, Ramparts, Entrance Hall. I actually don't know enough about Citadel to know where that is. I assume that's just the center area. The Tomb has the dig site, and it has the Dark Ether. Shattered Veil actually has 4. It seems like really just every corner has like its own section. I love that idea. I love the idea of cutting down those maps and playing different modes on those. I've been saying that for a while, that like these LTMs in Zombies, like a lot of them are cool. They're okay, but a lot of them are cool concepts that I feel like are just kind of shoehorned into the regular map and mode a lot of the time, to the point where like the red light green light mode back during Squid Game. Do you guys remember that one? Where just randomly it'll say red light and you'd have to pause, stop wherever you are. That's a cool concept, but there's already so much stuff to like micromanage in a normal game of zombies that it felt just annoying. But with a system like this, where you kind of have these areas already pre-opened, you have perks scattered around, you don't have to worry about opening up the map or like really playing through like the main game. You can just focus on the task at hand. I think that's like a way better system, personally. And I would love to see them like use these arenas for different modes in the future too, like turned maybe. It'd be cool. Yeah, 1v1 me on zombies, broski. Hell yeah, dog. I'll take you. In addition, I didn't play a lot of Grief back in BO2, so I don't. To my knowledge, these things didn't exist back then, but it's possible that they were, and I just didn't know about them. There's all kinds of like new, different, like mechanics having to do with Grief. For instance, there's now these capture zones. And so it seems like at regular intervals, there will be capture zones around the map that you'll have to go and like stay inside of. And if you capture that zone, then that will grief, quote unquote, the other team, which I assume is just like a bad thing happens to them. I think they talk about it. Yeah, types of grief. So one of these looks like 6 things may happen to them. It might nerf their weapons, it might drain their ammo, zombie ambush. An elite zombie is summoned and focuses solely on the enemy team. That's fun. Weapon carousel. The rival's players' weapons are randomly swapped every few seconds. I love that. See, that's the kind of shit that I want out of a zombies match. Just like, just fun, like, I don't know, crazy shit like that. I want to see a gobble gum that does that, honestly. A whimsical gum. Frozen grief reduces the enemy's movement with frost and ice coating the characters. Oh no, I like that too. Yeah, grief sounds really, really fun. I really, really want to play this. I wonder if tacticals like concussions and shock charges will affect the other team like an MP. Funny you say that. I believe that is the case. Because let's see, I'm kind of jumping around this section a bit. Let's see. If any team members are downed, they can be revived at any time. Though rival teams, undead enemies, and shock charges can hamper this action. So it seems like at the very least, like shock charges will affect the other team. If I had to guess, concussions will as well. Because it sounds like also you can melee the other team and shoot the other team, and it'll slow them down a little bit. Kind of like Slasher back in MWR. If anyone remembers that. Where you could shoot Michael Myers and he would slow down for a little bit. Is Grief permanent mode? That's what it seems like. So, you never really know with Call of Duty these days because, again, they talk about modes as if they're like permanent modes, but then remove them like a month later. It's just called Grief here. It doesn't say Grief LTM. Whereas some of these other modes later in Zombies, they do actually say LTM. Right? You see new LTM starting room, new LTM abomination challenge. So I'm assuming that Grief is a permanent mode, and it'll be right there next to standard, standard, directed, and then this. Personally, I still think like Cranked should always be there. In fact, actually, is Cranked still there? I'm about to check real quick. I have my game open over here. I haven't played Zombies in a little bit here. Oh no, it's not. But Zombie Snacks is. Is that different than Cranked? Good lord, I don't even know. Did the new guns get announced? Yep. There's 5 new guns or 6 new guns, something like that. Well, we'll get to them in a minute. I think it's just Warzone after this, and then into the weapons. But yeah, like Cranked should be on there. I've been waiting this whole time for a classic mode. Maybe that they're saving for BO7, but I really expected by now for there to be some kind of like Zombies classic where like weapon rarities aren't a thing, and like maybe the point system is different. I don't know. We'll have to see though. But at the very least, it does appear like Grief is permanent, which is great. In addition to Grief, which is at launch, I'm checking. Hold on. Yeah, at launch is Grief. In addition to that, over in Zombies, New Dark Ops challenges. Yippee, I guess. At the mid-season, there's going to be a new LTM called Starting Room, which sounds interesting. Inspired by the starting room in the classic Moon Zombies map, drop with up to 3 of your zombies crew into a more straightforward but challenging experience where you're locked into the first zone of a map. Raptor 1 is gone. Those undead hordes are only getting stronger, but all doors in the initial zone are unlocked. Survive to the highest round you can. So, I mean, it sounds like exactly what it sounds like. You're just not allowed out of the starting room. Although the way that it says here, all doors in the initial zone are unlocked, is weird to me. So maybe it isn't necessarily the starting room only. It might be something like the first room or two, you know? I'm trying to think of like what maps would like would maybe like on Shattered Veil, instead of being literally the spawn room, maybe it's like everything up until the mansion or something like that. I don't know. Pack Punch and Spawn, like Moon. Oh, maybe. I wonder. They actually don't mention when they talked about these arenas before. They mentioned that everything, like all perks and Pack a Punch and all that, will be in these arenas. Like they'll be moved into a place where they're actually accessible. They don't mention it here, but I wonder if they would also move them for this. By the way, this should not be an LTM. I'll keep saying it. In Zombies, LTMs shouldn't exist unless like they're themed in a way that like licensing is involved. But something like this, like Starting Room, that should just always be a thing, man. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then I think some of y'all mentioned before, the Abomination Challenge is another new LTM. Enter a warped version of Liberty Falls during new midseason event and hunt down an ultra-powered up Abomination. Perhaps it's wise to bring backup. And that's all that we know about that. We talked about it a little bit earlier. This is they're making what seems to be a warped version of Liberty Falls. I'm excited to see that. I hope that becomes like a map that you can just play, but probably not. We'll see. By warped version of Liberty Falls, I also assume that it's dark etherified, which is kind of what I thought would be part of Liberty Falls before it came out. You know how like you enter in the church and it becomes dark ether? I thought maybe there was a way to make the entire map dark ether. This is before the game came out. So I'm glad that like in some way that concept is still there of like a full dark ether Liberty Falls. But again, we don't have any pictures of this, so we don't actually know what it means. Probably just post-EE destructed Liberty Falls. Maybe. I wonder also if it plays into the storyline at all, because as far as I'm aware, I'm not a storyline expert at all, but as far as I'm aware, the crew are now going back to Liberty Falls, more or less, to Janus Tower, which is like in the same area. So it might make sense, like they're returning and they're stopping through Liberty Falls on the way, kind of deal. I don't know. Those would be called survival maps from BO2. Yeah, like cut down. Yeah, like survival classic maps would be great. I wish you keep playing inside the Dark Ether after you beat the Liberty Falls Easter egg. Yeah, man, that would have been so fucking cool. I thought also what would have been cool. You know how in Call of the Dead, the Pack-a-Punch moves around? I think there's 3 different locations around the map where Pack-a-Punch can spawn, and the lighthouse spins and points to each one. I had thought, like my theory with Liberty Falls, once we saw footage, was that every round or two, the Pack-a-Punch would move, and when it moved, like it would go to a different building, and the Dark Ether effect would follow it. So like you have Dark Ether Church where it starts, and then after 2 rounds it would move to like the comic book store, and now that place would become all like Dark Ethered out or something, you know? Like I thought that would be a really, really cool mechanic. There was so much cool shit that they could have done with it, and I mean it sounds like hopefully they're doing something with it at least now, but yeah. With the MP maps in the game, would Onslaught be a good decision? Man, I haven't thought about Onslaught in a while. Onslaught Stakeout, oh no. Real talk, honestly, Onslaught on the gunfight maps in Cold War was like the best way of playing that mode, though. So who knows? I'd be down to see it, 1,000% though. Onslaught Signal. I still haven't actually played Signal. I kind of fell off this past half season playing BO6. I've just been too busy. But it looks really cool. I assume that it plays like garbage though, because it's a very tiny map. Signal looks so good, but it sucks when you play. Damn. Onslaught train. Fuck yes, dude. Okay, I'm with it. Onslaught on the train. New gameplay content. We got a new ammo mod. It's Shatterblast. I'm gonna be honest. When I read Shatterblast, my first reaction was Shatterblast isn't already in the game. What the fuck? I'm not gonna go super into detail on it because again, like I'm not a big zombies guy. They outline the augments that you got here. They sound pretty cool. New gobblegums. Reloading your weapon creates an explosion around you, kind of like Electric Cherry, both an explosion. Love it. You got Flavor Hex, which gives you a random Ultra Gobblegum. Love that too. And Rain Burps, which is another just kind of cosmetic one. When you kill zombies, they belch sparkling rainbow bubbles, which I guess is cool. I feel like a lot of the whimsical ones are a little underwhelming for me. Like I wish Whimsical would do more cool shit. I don't know. Besides just like different death animations, you know? Like I was saying before, I would love to see a Whimsical that swaps all of your players' weapons or something else that, like, I don't know, changes the gameplay in a funny, whimsical way. Not just a visual thing. Also the Grim Reaper is here. That's great. Hey, speaking of nothing, let me drink some water quick. I'm losing my fucking voice. I recorded 2 videos just before this, and I was already my voice hurt before I got on stream, where I now have to just talk forever. So RIP my fucking vocal cords. All right, we're getting into Warzone now. Warzone, I usually kind of skip on these streams and when I just like read blog posts in general, because I don't know, I'm not like a huge Warzone guy, but I actually really like some of the stuff that they're doing. Talk for us, Jester. Dance monkey dance. Slop zone, hooray. Hey man, I actually like a lot of what they're doing right now. So the big thing that they are doing is a reskin for downtown. They're adding the Overlook. I'm not gonna go super into detail on this because really there's only one part of this reskin that I really like, and that is, let's see, they're adding a new tower that's like under construction. The tower, by the way, seems to be it seems to be the multiplayer map Bounty, which is fun. Which canonically takes place in Avalon, not Verdansk, but excuse me. But hey, you know, it's something. Oh shoot, I forgot to mention, because I just kind of skimmed over the multiplayer maps real quick. The map Fugitive supposedly has zip lines. Zip lines are coming back. Love that. They mention it briefly in the blog post, and you can actually see it in the trailer. So that's going to be cool. They're also adding some zip lines to downtown, which was the other part, which is what reminded me. But also what they're adding to downtown is a functioning crane. I think actually it's 2 functioning cranes. 2 huge cranes flank the north and south side of the monolith and are another way for travelers into the Overlook at great height. With 5 separate platforms attached to the mast to land on, use the vertical ascenders built into the crane's mast and take an 8-second ascent, 8 seconds, Jesus, to a platform just below the jib that extends out to the main winch, and the hoist allowing a jump to the Overlook roof. Operators who aren't challenged by vertigo will have wild panoramic views that extend to all of Verdansk. Both cranes are also functional, and providing that you found the necessary controls in the vicinity, both on and off the crane's superstructures, cargo on the hook block and hoist can be summoned. Wait. You found the necessary controls in the vicinity. Cargo on the hook, block, and hoist can be summoned and moved to various locations around the tower. That's a weird sentence. Am I having a stroke? Bottom line, though, is you can actually physically use the crane. I love that. It's going to be a nightmare. I'm debating because the Warzone construction worker video didn't do that great. But usually when they add a new thing like this to Warzone, I like to do a little when they added the train, I did the train conductor video. I don't know what a crane operator outfit looks like and how that's different than a construction worker, but maybe I'll find some kind of fun game to play, make some content on the crane. Who the hell knows? They're copying everything from the finals. Oh, is this from the finals? Every blog will make you have a stroke. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is from the finals. I had no idea. That's cool though, I guess. Look, art imitates art. Let's see. Crane operators are construction workers. Yeah, but I feel like I have to have a new outfit though if I do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, zip lines. Here, the big thing though that I'm excited about with Warzone, and we'll have to see because I don't want to get my hopes up because I feel like a lot of the time I get my hopes up for Warzone LTMs, and they're not great. But the big one is Clash, which is a 52v52 mode, which we haven't had. I think they said in Vanguard was the last time it was there. I remember it mostly just in, actually on Verdansk in Modern Warfare 2019. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a 50v52, or it's a 50v50 mode. That I think they're actually building out pretty well here. Obviously, it's respawns. I believe you go in with your loadout, so you don't have to like find anything. And it's kind of just like a chiller mode. It takes place on, it looks like 4 different POIs. So similar to zombies, you don't play on the entire map. You just play on like a separate section. And those sections are Quarry, Boneyard, Farmland, and Promenade. You can kind of think of it, honestly, as like a ground war style experience. I think, though, unless they say in here anything differently, if I had to guess, mid-air respawns are going to be a thing. That was always the biggest difference between Ground War and this mode back in the day. Is that in Ground War you spawn like a normal multiplayer game, but in this you usually spawn in midair and you have to parachute down. That part I'm not a particular fan of, but I do like the idea of some big team modes like this. As far as how to win, it seems like you get 1 point for every kill for your team, 2 points for any elimination with double down power up. Which also, by the way, there are power-ups in this. You also get 5 points for completing a contract, because contracts are on the map as well. And there also seems to be... let me see. Do they talk about it later? Or did they talk about it before? Wait, am I crazy? Where the hell did they talk about this? Oh, in-match events, domination points. Yeah, so during the match, different events will happen. Things like domination points will spawn around, and you have to go capture them. Or crates will drop with points in them, and then that all kind of adds to the total. There's also Clash Fire Sale. Let me see. Clash Fire Sale, which sounds just like, a fire sale. Everything's cheap. Additionally, all loot crates are restocked. Yeah, okay. Cash crates. Capture 1 or more of 3 crates that drop during this event, and you'll get 10 points. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Bonus crates event is a different thing, I guess. Okay. And then the Power Surge event. For the next 2 minutes, is an increased drop rate of power-ups when you dispatch an enemy player, which is cool. I'm really looking forward to this game mode, mostly because I love Verdansk. I shouldn't say I love Verdansk. I'm fond of Verdansk, and I would like to experience Warzone more, but I am just so over Battle Royale at this point in my life, man, that like I just want to play some new game modes on it. I want Lockdown to come back. I really want to try this game out. I would love to see that escort mode come back from 2019. DMZ2 I'd even love to see back. It's rumored DMZ2 is coming in the next IW COD, which is in another year and change. So soon, fingers crossed. Oh yeah, Purgatory, I felt like I just didn't have much of a purpose in it. Like I wasn't guided toward anything. It just kind of felt almost too open-ended. Like I needed something to do, similar to DMZ with like missions, you know? Isn't this year's COD supposed to be the IW COD? No. So this year is rumored to be BO7, and it's going to be another like half-step Call of Duty in the same way that MW23 last year was like year 2 of MW22. This year is going to be a year 2, quote-unquote, of BO6. That's the rumor right now. And then next year would be Modern Warfare. IW had MW2. Sledgehammer took over MW3. Yeah. If you are following logic, yes, IW should be up next. But instead, it seems like they're having Treyarch do a second year. We'll see. It should be revealed probably in the next month or two. We're getting to the point in the year right now where, like, you know, this is usually when the next COD is revealed. I think it's going to be a little bit different this year because for a while, we didn't know when GTA 6 was releasing. Now it got pushed back, so it's a non-factor. But for a while, I think they were not dead set on a release date yet because they didn't want to compete with GTA 6. And so now that we know that that's not even coming out this year, I think now they're going to figure out when this year's COD exactly is going to come out. And once that happens, then they will start revealing stuff. Oh, that's such a good point, Deadly. Yeah, the reveal to be on June 19th. That'd be fantastic. Hey, that's right around the corner. Only a month out. MW4 will be the first Modern Warfare game in like 8 years where we don't have to specify which one. Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. Dude, as someone who edits all day for this channel and a couple other like contract gigs that I have in the Call of Duty universe as an editor, who's constantly trying to grab clips and footage and trailers from older Call of Duties, nothing pisses me off more than the fact that if I type in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, I always get the wrong game. I'm always looking for the old one and I get the new, or I'm looking for the new one and I get the old somehow. I just want a game that has an original title again. Which, yeah, thankfully we are getting in a year and change. Modern Warfare 2024, love it. I've seen people talk about it being a sequel to BO2, but I can't see it happening. The average player base was too young to be playing that game. I think that it could be, in the same way that BO6 is almost a sequel to BO2 as well, right? Like a lot of the shit that happened in the past of BO2 kind of is the foundation for BO6, you know? And I think, like, even though it's old, there have been old games that have gotten sequels all the time, you know? When are we getting COD World War I? I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I'd want them to go that far back. I don't know. I think that there's a lot more to be told within, like, worth of... I think that there's way more wars within the last 50 years that I would like to see before we go all the way back to World War I, you know? Like, I don't know. There's a lot more conflicts and stuff that we can talk about. We can tell stories in, you know. Yeah, World War One aesthetic instantly ruined by season 1. Yeah, that's also the problem when you do any kind of historical game that also has microtransactions like this. It's all out the window immediately. And just like I can't deal with another year also of people being like, actually, this kind of person wouldn't fight in this kind of setting in World War blah blah blah. And like, I understand that like my YouTube channel is kind of based on pointing out like where logic doesn't make sense in games, but like I'm so tired of that conversation of like, why does suppressors don't exist in 1914? It's like, sure, but we need them in game. I don't know. I'm not gonna go. I'm rambling. Where the hell are we here? Clash. I'm looking forward to the Clash to the Clash mode. I believe that's on launch. Yeah, it's at launch. So we got like a decent amount of stuff at launch across all 3 modes that I'm excited for, at least. Let's see what else. Havoc Royale is also coming at the mid-season. As far as I'm aware, this is like it's like Havoc from MW22, except in Warzone, where every so often a random modifier will get placed, or will be rolled, and everyone in the lobby will be affected. Right, things like moon gravity or all crossbows or whatever. They don't go into too much detail because it's a mid-season one, so we'll see. And I believe also it's Resurgence, so it's likely going to be on Rebirth. And maybe Area 99? Is Area 99 still in the game? Just, has anyone checked in on Area 99? Let's see. Wall run? They haven't talked about wall running in this blog. So it was leaked that the next game will potentially have wall running. And there was some footage even that leaked of someone who modded the game to allow wall running in this game. And so some people were thinking with Fringe being added, that maybe there'd be an LTM or something with wall running or jetpacks. They haven't mentioned anything about that yet. But, we'll see. Area 99 isn't in the game since Season 2. That's a shame, because it was a really good-looking map. And for the fact that it was only in the game for 2 months, or for 4 months, is crazy. Also, Resurgence Casual. That's great. I know a lot of people excited about that. I don't really care about it, to be honest. Also, ranked play rewards. Nothing super crazy. They didn't mod it. It was in the game files. It's another copy and paste DLC on the same game engine. For sure, when I say mod, I mean like they went into the game files and literally modified it to be able to like access those files. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to modify it to get it. It's just a semantic thing. That's all. By the way, am I like constantly falling out of frame here? Should I be there? Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about wall running here in a minute, but just to close us out of the new content here, there are a handful of new weapons. There's the LC-10, which is an SMG. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was in the game already. What is the name of the new SMG that they just added a few weeks ago? I don't even have it, because I just skipped the Get High event entirely. Let me see if I can pull up the. I know you guys can't see my screen. Oh, the Ladra. That's what it's called. The Ladra. I thought this was the same fucking gun. Everyone's saying Ladra. Yeah, to me, this is like the same fucking weapon. I don't know. It's another SMG. It's cool that we have it, though. The other one is the FFR, or the FAMAS, coming in. Lovely, lovely weapon. One of my favorite guns in Call of Duty history. Yet another reason why this update was made specifically for me and only me. Then is the Essex Model 07, which is a lever action rifle. I believe it was in BO4. They might even mention it. No, I don't think so. I believe this was in BO4. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I also mentioned in a recent video about how like there's surprisingly not a lot of lever actions in Call of Duty games. So hey, they listened. Treyarch is legitimately they're spying on me, guys. I don't like it. I've been noticing someone in the bushes outside my house. I'm starting to think that is, I can't name a single person who works at Treyarch right now. I'm choking. I choked the hell out of that joke. They're also adding the Olympia, which is great. What's weird is that they're calling it a special weapon. It's a shotgun, right? Like, shotguns exist. But because it's a special, actually, does that mean that it's a secondary? You have special primaries, right? No. Unless they add a new category to primaries and it's a new special category, that means that this is a secondary. That's crazy. It has a special weapon that makes for the perfect backup when entering tight spaces. Yeah, so it's a secondary weapon. I didn't even notice that the first time. I wonder getting headshots at the Olympia is going to be like, oh, not fun. No revolver yet is crazy. Yeah, man. Why don't games have revolvers anymore? Am I missing something? Is it like crazy to code a revolver or something? Goddamn. Also a pickaxe. I feel like most Call of Duty games have a pickaxe at this point. We'll see. There's a stock and barrel for attachments, though. Oh, really? FAMAS and Olympia. Welcome back to 2019 meta. Oh, no. See, you mentioned FAMAS and Olympia and think 2019. I think Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 was FAMAS and Olympia. We don't have a good shot of this. I don't know what this gun is supposed to be. It's the melee from Fortnite. Oh, no. Damn, we're borrowing from Finals. We're borrowing from Fortnite. There's also some new special weapon attachments. None seem particularly crazy. There's a grip for some SMGs. There's a mod that makes the Strider a 3-round burst. That's good. Full auto SVD. Interesting. Auto conversion for the TR2. That's the FAL, I believe. And then really that's it in terms of like actual new content. Then we got some bundles and, battle pass stuff. Obviously Stitch is the main guy coming back. We got some cool skins for him as well as Adler. Black Cell. This is the Black Cell guy. Fucking crazy, like Brutus looking dude. Like it, I guess. We're finally getting John Wick crossover, although it's the ballerina, the John Wick crossover, or John Wick spin-off, which is interesting. After all these years, we end up with the ballerina. Here they also talk about events for a minute. The ballerina event starts on the 5th, and that runs till the 12th of June. And then after that, it rolls into the Rivals event, which seems to be based on Stitch versus Adler. And that runs from the 12th to the 26th. And then there's a Zombies event running from the 26th to July 3rd. And then another Zombies event that seems to be more based on Grief from the 10th to the 17th. And that, I believe that's all of them through to the mid-season. So 4 events. They're probably all XP based. I think some of them even say that they're just XP based, which is a little like, okay, but hey, it's what we got. Let's see. Thought there was supposed to be a Mission Impossible event. Maybe that might be something. So it seems like most seasons they do have at least one crossover that they don't talk about, like the TMNT event, where that one came out at the mid-season, but they don't mention it in the initial blog post. So it's possible that we'll get like a Mission Impossible thing. We'll see. I'm pissed. How do we not have a fucking 1911 yet? Right? Yeah, I don't know. What we really need is a full auto mod for the AMR. That would be 06 basically becomes an S tier COD. Is that all it takes? All right, so that's about it for the blog post. overall, one of those things that at first when I looked at the roadmap, I wasn't really feeling. But the more that I look into this, the more I think that I like just about everything that it's offering. There's not a lot that's like shitty. You know what I mean? But like most seasons have like something or other that I'm like, whatever. Here, I think most of this I'm genuinely excited to like try out. Definitely the multiplayer maps are a little bit boring, just visually. But I do like at least that like they're all part of the same story. You know, it's beginning, middle, and end. It's kind of a weird story because fucking they're bringing Stitch back, but whatever. I can overlook it. We'll still do a review of Haven. I don't know. I don't think so at this point. I might work it into this season's maps. So usually I try to do an accurate tour or a map review of every like new map drop. The problem was I was out of town actually when they dropped the Reloaded season. And so Haven I didn't even play for like 5 or 6 days after it had dropped. And by then I like no one's talking about it anymore, you know? So I might work it in with these. I'll have to see exactly what kind of video it'll end up being. Maybe it'll have a place there, maybe it won't. We'll see. Because same thing with Signal. We haven't done a video in Signal yet. Did you ever do a tour of Nomad? Yeah, I believe so. So at this point, I don't do every map individually. Instead, I focus on each drop. So Nomad, I think, was Season 3 launch. So Nomad would probably be... Would that be in with, like, the firing range video? I think that was Season 3 launch, right? It'd be all in there. You know, at this point, I do every map that comes out, besides the last two. I completely just... I wasn't able to get a video up for them. Let's see. I miss when postseason storyline made sense and continued the story into the next game. You mean like the one time that they did that in Cold War, and now they're just like going back on it by bringing Stitch back? Funnily enough, Nomad is set to be in Afghanistan, but it's entirely reused from the BO6 campaign, which was set in Iraq. Yeah, it was meant to be, I believe, the same place that the Afghanistan mission in BO2 took place, actually. Because that entire season was based on Hudson's memories, which is why you got like Barrage, which took place in Vietnam where he was, and Signal, which was the underwater numbers base where he was. So it all checks out. Let's see. What else is there to talk about, really? Kind of looking forward to Blitz. So, let me see. Oh, they don't have a top-down of this one yet. So, of the new 6v6 maps, 2 of them are strike maps. But one thing that I liked that they did last season, actually, with Nomad, was even though Nomad is a strike map, it was decently sized, and it was open air, which meant that you could get kill streaks on it, and you can play it in regular 6v6, and like it actually flows like a small, but still like a normal 6v6 map, if that makes sense. It's not like a stakeout level just grinder. And from this layout, it looks like Blitz is about the size of like Nomad. So I'm looking forward to a map that is a small map, but isn't too small, if that makes sense. As far as these other ones, they say that this one's a medium-sized map and that it looks smaller than it is. Like, there's a lot of, like, verticality to all of this. And then this one, Shutdown, actually seems to be a pretty large map. Even though it says small-sized, but that is so much bigger than this, right? Like, you're way more zoomed in there than there. And plus, you have all this water section. I wonder how that's going to play. We'll see. We'll see how it all comes. I will be doing a tour of these maps next week, obviously, once they come out. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, as far as these other maps, Fringe, we didn't really talk about Fringe too much. Fringe is is one of those maps I've talked about a lot that I think would work really well on boots in the ground COD. I'm curious to see if they change anything about it at all, though. Because, really, if I remember right, this map had like one big wall run section that I don't actually see pictured here. For reference, it was like there was this barn right back here. We'll see if they change anything there. We'll see. Personally, I don't think that they really have to, because it works fine. I kind of like the vibe of it though. It looks nice. I don't know what other people are saying. I feel like a lot of the time when they remake a map, like Fire Range and with Hacienda, both of them, their vibes just felt a little off. To me, it's kind of in the same vein as those other ones, but I don't know. To me, this reads good. This reads well to me. I don't know. Name every COD map with useless water flank routes. That's every water-based COD ever. Besides, like, Vonda Waterfront, I think. I'd rather they not try to make a storyline for the multiplayer seasons if they're just going to resurrect seemingly dead characters and have the season as is and add whoever. Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you, Beachwind. I would rather, in a perfect world, have a post-launch story, but if they're going to just bring back dead characters anyway, I would rather just not have one. Or just like have it take place before the campaign and have things like how they did Hudson, right? Where he's not actually back. He's on a videotape, Or like have a flashback season where it's like, remember when Stitch was alive? Kind of thing. Hunted from BO3 had water. That's true, and it had that cross section that was used. What's another one? Characters don't become memorable without the storyline, though. Yeah, I'll give you that. Not to say that, because like Mara, I think, is pretty memorable. Mara or like Mace, and neither of them have been involved in like the post-launch story. But it definitely is easier when there's a story for like people like Stitch to stand out. Yeah, do not speak of Jungle Flooded. Map remakes that are part of a bigger map like Verdansk, Almaz, or Avalon always feel off. Is this one in Avalon? Or I'm sure you're talking about like the Firing Range and Hacienda ones. I wonder if this one is, though. Because like this could easily fit, I think, in Avalon. Rolling Hills Distillery. Yeah, it doesn't really give me much. Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit. The leaks of BO7 having wall running. I'm gonna be honest. What do y'all think about adding wall running to the game? Because like to me, I think Omni movement is as far as I'm willing to go with like cracked out movement and shit. I really like that you can sprint backwards and slide sideways. I kind of don't like the diving aspect. I think if they got rid of that, I'd be cool. I also don't really like tack sprint. I don't think that's a hot take anymore. I think most people are like, all right, tack sprint's a little bit much. But I think adding more to that, like wall running, to me is like a bridge too far. Like seeing that footage, there's some leaked footage of it. I'm not going to show it because I don't know DMCA and all that, but I believe I saw it on Twitter. Charlie Intel probably retweeted it. Seeing footage of someone like wall running with Omni movement it's more cracked out than it was in BO3 with like jetpacks and shit. And I kind of don't like that in like core multiplayer. That said, though, when I was watching that footage, it looks really fun for like a game mode like Get High, like a parkour mode. But just trying to like imagine using it and having it used on you in gunfights day to day sounds just exhausting, if I'm being honest. I don't know, man. If wall running is added, Modern Warfare will be forced to have it too, simply due to simply due to the need for all mechanics to work between Warzone and mainline titles. Maybe. I don't think that Modern Warfare will have it. I think that this would be something strictly for Black Ops, honestly. We'll see. In an ideal world, Warzone's completely disconnected, and Modern Warfare and Black Ops kind of have separate things. I would really hope that they wouldn't add it to something like Modern Warfare. Because to me, Modern Warfare is supposed to be more grounded, even though it's not anymore. But the new Modern Warfare, the whole point was for it to be grounded. So if they add shit like wall running to it, it's just like it's too far, you know. Wall running is certainly interesting. I wouldn't mind it, to be honest. Just make it like BO3 and I'm fine with it. I guess the reason they haven't added Sims yet is because they don't want anything to do with Adler, I'm guessing. Oh, the character Sims? Yeah, I'm actually surprised that they didn't bring him in with the Vietnam map, right? Oh, I'm sorry. No, because Sims wasn't the Sims Vietnam shit was the last game. He was in Afghanistan in this one, right? Or Iraq. It looked really good though. I don't know. It looks fun to be. It looks fun to do, but it looks like it won't be fun to go against. Is I think where I'm at. Depends on if it's parkour, brink wall running, more like sticking to the wall. I might be out of my depth here because I'm not entirely sure. Excuse me. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. I honestly prefer if you couldn't slide sideways and if it was only for diving, because the unemployed kids are hopped up on Adderall. To be honest, I think like my ideal Call of Duty movement is no tack sprint, but you can sprint in any direction, because I really like that like fluidity. And you can slide, but only in like a certain cone, like not full every direction, but you can slide obviously forward and maybe like 90 degrees left and right. You can't slide backward, or maybe not 90 degrees. Maybe it's like 45. Like you can kind of like strafe. But I don't know how that feels in practice, you know. I think if BO7 does get wall running, Combine from BO3 must come back. Oh, yeah, dude. Combine can come back now. All you got to do is add like a little catwalk, I think, on the wall run section, and you'd be fine. They'd have to make maps way more focused on wall running than previous games, though. Yeah, that's the other thing. So, because this all compounds with the rumor that BO7 is going to launch with, if not all, at least some BO2 maps, right? So the idea that they're going to remaster a bunch of Black Ops 2 maps, but then add wall running on all these maps that aren't built for it, it's a weird clash. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I can't even get my mates to play BO6 due to Omni movement. You think they would play with Omni and wall running? Yeah, it's a bit much. COD has just gotten so sweaty over the years, and it does feel like they're leaning more and more into that sweat with shit like that. Like to me, movement CODs. Well, don't get me wrong, I am enjoying BO6. Omni movement is not a positive to me. If anything, it's a net neutral, right? Like if they came out with a zero Omni movement mode, let's say in BO6, I think I would prefer that. I don't know though. To be honest, I think Modern Warfare 3, like last year, had movement pretty solid. It was a little bit too cheesy with slide canceling. I think maybe you could like rein that down a little bit, but that's mostly like personal preference. I mean, I guess it's all personal preference, right? But like I think last year had a pretty good baseline for me. If they do wall running, it should be a non-mainline title, like a new one, not BR, or not BO or MW. I'd be curious to see if they ever would do a non-Black Ops or Modern Warfare title at this point. It's been so, like, Vanguard is the only one of, like, in the recent, like, modern COD, like last 10 years CODs, if I remember right. And that one didn't do very well at all. So I really wonder. I think Russian Badger said in one of his videos something along the lines of, the last generation having instant clip sharing options made everyone sweatier. Ooh, that's an interesting take. Huh. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, it's a combination of that and just the, like, the internet in general and, like, YouTube in general evolving so much over the years, you know? Back in the day, while, like, you did definitely have, like, quick-scoping montages and shit like that, they were a lot more niche, you know? Like us, like, in the hardcore COD community, we were into it. We knew about him. But, you know, my fucking brother-in-law, who just played, like, you know, a couple of games, you know, every other weekend, he didn't know anything about that. But now with, like, the internet, you scroll on fucking on your social media of choice, and you're fed all this shit constantly. It's interesting, yeah. Actually, no, I won't. I was about to say I have a video that I actually just, one of the two videos I recorded earlier kind of touches on that a little bit. It's more about how, like, games don't let you breathe anymore. Games don't let you, like, make your own fun. It's all, like, you gotta be min-maxing XP constantly. You gotta be, you know, hitting the best fucking clips. You know, you can't just chill in video games anymore, you know? Infinite Warfare and World War II. Yeah, but those are both 10 years old, right? Yeah, like if I remember right, World War II is... Oh, no, wait, no, I'm sorry. World War II is 2017. Yeah, and then there'd be IW just before it. What I think... BO3 was 2016. I wish COD would do a live service like Helldivers 2, constantly evolving storyline week to week rather than current trailer info dump. Yeah, I really think that's where DMZ could be cool. Like, wait, BO3 was 2015? Not that I don't believe you, I just need to see. Yeah, shit. I guess it's always weird because a COD will release in a certain year, but its life cycle is the next year, if that makes any sense. Like, Modern Warfare 2019 came out in 2019, but it was played all through 2020. You know what I mean? That's my excuse for getting that year wrong. By the way, that's me saving face. You know, I don't remember. I feel like I talked about this a long time ago. And maybe not like in the best way, or I probably didn't communicate it in the best way even back then, but like what I would love to see out of DMZ in the coming years, like if and when they bring it back, is to make it basically make it a Helldivers clone. Make it this thing where, like, everyone drops on the map and there's either no PvP or, like, there's certain areas, certain separate maps that are PvP, but it's for the most part versus AI, and you're doing missions across this map, you know, across Al Mazrah or whatever. And you know, as seasons come out, there's, like, different storylines that are happening, kind of similar to DMZ in MW22, where, like, the cartel moves in and suddenly now there's cartel members everywhere, or Al-Qatala or Shadow Company, and have them all fighting for control of this big map that maybe, like, depending on the player's actions, rather the community's actions, you know, maybe they send the cartel packing, you know, we beat the fuck out of the cartel, but now, there's a power vacuum, and Shadow Company comes in to fill it, and kind of the story evolves from there. Like, I think that could be a really, really cool concept, specifically through DMZ. And also, I just want a good PvE mode. You know, like zombies is fun. It's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Love zombies. I want something else though. I want something a little bit more true to Call of Duty. With like shooting at actual people who are shooting back. Like I want like a Spec Ops type experience, I think, at this point. And I think DMZ can be that. DMZ event was heat. Yeah, man. They DMZ like evolved so well, I thought too. The shame of DMZ was it evolved to a point that it was actually really fun and really like well developed by the end there, right? You had like upgrades and workbenches and but then they abandoned it. And not only did they abandon it, but now when you go back, the only people playing it are sweat lords who just hunt other people. So like the entire idea of this, like, you run into someone else and you're like, oh, you gonna shoot? Nope. Friendly? Up. That's just gone. Now it's just kill on sight. And, like, it's a shame, you know? Bit random, but an interesting video idea could be about the most forgettable COD game. Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered. After 2020, when has anyone spoken of this game? It's funny you mention that because... So first of all, I disagree that it's the most forgettable COD game. But I think like I go back and play that game once a year. It's a really fun, it's a really well done remaster. I don't think if I make this video, it's not gonna be for like a year. It's like somewhere on my list of like 100 potential ideas, but I want to make a video talking about how it is like the perfect remaster, in my opinion. No, I think the most forgettable COD game, if we're talking like mainline game, it's Vanguard. I think already people forgot about Vanguard, and in 5 more years, it's gonna be like just in the background. But of course, that's a bias. I by the way, I recorded so. This week's video is it's an unscripted video, so it's not like one of the big green screen ones. It's a tier list video. I'm not gonna like spoil exactly what the tier list is, but it's something that I touch on every single COD in it. But I didn't realize until I got it in the edit, I completely forgot about Vanguard. I go every single game. And when I get to Vanguard, just skipped right over it accidentally. And I feel like I do that constantly. Something about Vanguard is just so goddamn forgettable in a way that like BO4, even though for me, I barely played BO4. I barely played IW. Vanguard, which I've played substantially more than both of those games, I just fucking forget about all the goddamn time. What'd you say about BO4's campaign? That it shouldn't, that it wasn't made for a good reason. Hearing all the horror stories that come from like leaks of what the campaign was supposed to be, both on a story and gameplay level. I'm kind of glad that it got scrapped. I hate how DMZ and a bunch of PvE content in MW2 force you to play in threes. Same. Yeah, raids I thought were a fantastic idea. I loved the 2 raids that I played with my crew. But the problem is, once you get so deep into Call of Duty like seasons, most of the casual audience, at least in my experience, like my friends who are casuals when it comes to COD, they fall off on like season 2 by season 2. So when like the 4th raid comes out, and they haven't played COD in 4 months, they don't want to come back to play raid, the next raid. Like they don't give a shit. So I have to like find new people now to play to play the raid with instead of just playing it by myself. You know, it's I I don't know. I wish things were a little bit more solo friendly. Give us options, you know. I even forgot Vanguard is like 4 years old, right? How Modern Warfare Zombies have 3 players for zombies, which is criminal. Oh, you're saying on like the other end of like, if you have 4 friends, you can't get them all in. Yeah, that's weird. That really, the party size should have been like 4 or 6 for something like that, you know? Because like it didn't affect anything really. Once you got in the world, you could join squads with, I believe it was up to 6, right? Or was it even more? Richtofen throwing it back in Blackout was an essential part of the COD Zombies lore. I'll take your word for it. I think it was 8 or 10 max. Yeah, I don't know. All right, we're at 7:00. I gotta call it there. This has been a lot of fun, y'all. I'm sorry that it's been so long since I've streamed. I should do this. We should be doing this a lot more often. Be on the lookout this weekend for that tier list video I was talking about. Then next weekend will be a tour of these maps, and actually probably next week, probably the day that the maps launch, we'll probably be streaming playing it. We usually like to do that around here. If this is the first stream that you're catching. But after that, then next weekend, like I said, will be an accurate tour of these maps. Then, like I've been saying a bunch here, I recorded 2 pretty big, like, scripted green screen videos. Those will be coming after that. We got a lot of good content, at least what I think is good content, coming out in the next few weeks. So make sure to hit that notification bell, to turn that on so that you get notified whenever this content comes out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And for all the support on the videos lately in general. When do they get uploaded? That is a good question that I don't have a real answer for. I try to upload once a week. Usually I aim for like Fridays, but sometimes they take longer. So really just at some point on the weekend is when I try to get videos out. For instance, the video this week will probably end up being Saturday or Sunday, just because I need to still work on it a little bit. And then the tour the week after will probably also be Saturday, because the maps don't even come out until Thursday. So, you know, it's nebulous, but generally every weekend we have a brand new video over here. You can be playing with viewers. Yep. Usually we do an open lobby for those things. So if you want to play some Call of Duty next week, join the stream. You wouldn't believe it, but I got a 4.12 KD in Plunder. I won't believe it. Thank you. No, that sounds cool. Great job. Alrighty. Well, that's about it. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.